తెలుగు రాష్ట్రాల్లో N440K స్ట్రెయిన్ విజృంభిస్తోందన్న వార్తల నేపథ్యంలోనే ఇందులో ఏ మేరకు వాస్తవం ఉంది? మరోవైపు ఇటీవలి కాలంలోనే జంతువుల్లో కూడా కోవిడ్ వైరస్ వెలుగు చూస్తున్న నేపథ్యంలో దానికి సంబంధించిన విశేషాలు మనతో షేర్ చేసుకునేందుకున్నారు ప్రస్తుతం సీసీఎంబీ ఎక్స్ డైరెక్టర్ డాక్టర్ రాకేష్ కే మిశ్రా అండ్ ప్రస్తుతం ఆయన సీసీఎంబీకి సంబంధించినటువంటి కీలకమైన పరిశోధనలో కూడా భాగస్వామిగా ఉన్న నేపథ్యంలోనే మరిన్ని వివరాలు ఆయన మాటలను తెలుసుకుందాం. నమస్తే సార్.
Namaste.
So there are so many news that N440K is spreading more in AP and Telangana. So how much the strain is spreading now?
No, there has been some confusion. Actually, is completely the opposite. N440K is not spreading in Andhra Pradesh or Telangana. It was there as a dominant variant in this part of the country a few months back.
Yes.
And now is being replaced by other variants, including the 6.1. B.1.617, what we also call as a double mutant, and that is being more common. Like it is almost taken over in Maharashtra, spreading in Karnataka. So earlier, few months back, in southern states like Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Karnataka, Kerala, the N440K was more prominent, 30-40%. But now it is going down, and I think it will be less than 10% now, or some places even less than 5%, and it's going to disappear in coming few weeks. It has not originated in Andhra Pradesh; it's originated outside India, and it has come from there. So lots of confusion came into this, and the confusion was because there was a study submitted that this virus N440K replicates 10 times, 15 times more, gives more viral product or titer, what is called. But that study is in cell culture where we produce the virus in large quantities. There it does very well. So that is a good system to study the virus, its replication, its susceptibility to antibodies or a drug and those kinds of things. This is not a good system to compare the result for human infectivity and epidemiology and those kinds of things, because what you are doing, humans have immune system. So something is doing very well in culture will not grow in human because we can block that. Our body can block that.
Because of the double mutant, how many people are being affected in these two Telugu states, sir?
I think there's numbers. So it was in the beginning, it was low, but I think now it may be more than 10% or 20%, depending on certain localities. Data is not very dense at the moment, but gradually the double mutant will, which is 617, we call it, that will become the prominent one in most of the country in this, this part of the country.
So there are some studies saying that there is a triple mutant in Maharashtra. Is that true? If yes, so is that the causative for the increasing cases of the COVID?
No, triple mutant is nothing but a variant of a sub-variant or sub-lineage of double mutant. It is not at all more dangerous than, even double mutant is not more dangerous than UK variant. So today the most infectious is the UK variant in India. Next comes this Maharashtra variant, or what you call as double variant. And then similarly now for double variant, there are sub-lineage of double variants, which is 617.1, 617.2, 617.3. So three of them have established. This is very normal thing that new variants of the virus will come, virus mutates, and that's what is the nature of the virus, and that is the strategy of virus to try to escape our immune system and spread more and so on. And none of these sub-variants, which you call as triple variant or double variant, they are comparable in their infectivity. And even today in most of the India, if you count, none of the variant is a dominant variant. For example, in Maharashtra, double variant is more. In Punjab, UK variant is more. In Andhra and Telangana, now N440 is being replaced by double variant, and then some others. So these infectivity is a little more than the older variants, but major role of spreading the virus is the human behavior. Different parts of the country have different variants, but the people are the same, behavior is the same. We are celebrating marriages, we are celebrating everything, we are going to movie, we are eating in restaurants, and we are doing everything which we shouldn't be doing, which is crowding, clustering in place, and you don't see people wearing masks. Many people who are wearing masks, they protect their beard, not the mouth and nose. So those are the reasons why we have ignored. We thought that this virus is now out. We have vaccine, but virus will not run away with the name of the vaccine. It has to be vaccinated, then only it will work.
So in first wave, uh, there are around 97% people got recovered very soon. But when it comes to second wave, now 82 to 83% people are just recovering from this coronavirus. How can we see this, sir? What are the reason for that?
There is not much difference as far as we understand in the biology of this virus in these variants, except that infectivity is more. A lot of differences probably this time are coming, like for example, young people being infected. So it's not that virus is specific for younger people this time compared to what it was before. It so happens now that after 1 year schools open and lots of young people start mixing with one another, and they don't follow COVID appropriate behavior. Upper middle class are getting more infected because they didn't took care. First time they were worried. So that's why there is a general demographical kind of shift, and the virus this time has gone to smaller places. Earlier it was in major infections were in bigger cities. So those shifts are there because of the way we have acted and performed during this period in terms of our activities. Some observations are being made, whether that is because, for example, people deteriorating very fast. The reason of that partly is that people are not going to hospital soon enough. There are certain ways you have to keep monitoring the 6 minute walk and check your oxygen level and those sorts of things. If you do, when it goes below certain level, then you go to hospital. But people, particularly younger people, they tolerate more, so they don't care. They are careless for longer time, and by the time they reach hospital, situation is bad. Hospitals are very crowded,
Yes.
and because of that, the quality of healthcare that you can expect cannot be the same. Now every healthcare worker is stressed out. How long we can keep them on their toes and they run around is 15 months and more. If we don't take care, if we don't wear mask, what will happen is the crowding in the hospital. And if that happens, then you may be in New York, you may be Italy, you may be Spain. Forget whether you are Delhi or Hyderabad. Our healthcare system is far behind developed countries. We will see disaster. Only way to come out of this is to go back to the mask, go back to social distancing, and don't come out unless necessary. Vaccine is there, but after first need to be vaccinated, and then still we have to wear the mask and so on, so that we don't lose the advantage that we get with the vaccine.
Somebody are saying if you take a good amount of food and proteins, then you may be recovered very early. Is that true?
If you take good food, healthy food, it will always help you. Drink enough water, sleep well, take healthy food, light food, not too much of oil, so that your body is not busy in digesting, body is getting nutrition without tiring itself. And vitamins, that certainly will help. Whatever makes you feel healthy and gives so that immune system can draw strength from this will certainly help. There is no real medicine for this, but otherwise our system will take care unless we have some comorbidity and those problems. So that is more dangerous. Otherwise, we can manage well, but we have to attend to ourselves uh, early enough. And first thing is that don't let the virus spread. Why to go and fall prey to the virus and then run around for help? We can preempt this danger.
CCMB announced that 8 lions in Nehru Zoological Park of Hyderabad have affected with the coronavirus. This is the first, I think, this is the first case in India, and it is the indication that animals may be affected with the coronavirus. How can we see this, and how can we control the situation?
In India, we found it first time when these lions showed some symptoms. So we are in close touch with the zoo, with Central Zoo Authority, and we keep monitoring the animals uh, for such things. So when they showed symptom, we tested and it was positive. So then we immediately took measures to. Uh, 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 there are certain kind of comforting treatment given to them, more air, so they can stray around longer. give them food that is sterilized, and we made some protocols. Now they have recovered, they are fine, they are eating, and no problem uh, is done. We also checked whether it's a new variant or old variant. So this is old variant, so this is not anything new that we are seeing. And government has taken very prompt action, and all the zoos in India, not only Hyderabad, have been closed for 2 weeks. Once we noticed this, there is not much evidence that it can come from pet or these kinds of things back to us, but it's a possible. You cannot completely rule out that. Throwing anything on the road, forget about mask or PP kit or anything, is very uncivil. You throw your mask, a dog or other animal or cattle, they all can go, they can eat it, or they can touch it and get infected and bring back to us. So that is very bad thing. Although cross infectivity is not very efficient, it is less, but the possibilities exist. So we are developing methods to test animals more efficiently using their fecal samples. So dogs and cats, we should be careful, keep them in air circulation, and if we have infection in ourselves, then prevent interacting with the animals, and keep them with distance, and or wear mask if you want to treat them or handle them closely. We are developing some SOPs we will share with everyone. Is being developed by Central Zoo Authority, because there is also concern that people should not become scared. Uh, but the bottom line is that the virus can go to other species, and we should prevent that, because it's not only that it is making the other animals sick, it can also become a reservoir which can then return a new kind of a very different variant back to humans, the way this happened, right? From bat, it goes to something and comes to us in a very bad infectious virus.
Is there any treatment protocols for the animals which are affected with the corona?
No, there is for human also there is no treatment. For animal, there is as far as I understand, there is no treatment because these things take time. Even humans also, most of treatment are borrowed treatment from earlier things like giving steroid, giving. But I don't think it's going to be such a frequent thing that we need corona treatment for animals. We should not worry about treatment of the animals at the moment. We are in a different kind of emergency. We should try and prevent it from happening. Like if somebody is positive, that person should isolate, and animals should also be protected and isolated from meeting such person. That is the best way of managing this.
We are just doing around 70 to 60,000 to 70,000 tests per day. So in this situation, CCM is working on dry swab test. How it is going to be useful for the people and for the governments?
With whatever capacity you are doing 70,000 tests, if you use dry swab, then you can do at least 2 lakh tests without needing anything extra, because the dry swab is very convenient. It doesn't require liquid VTM to transfer your samples to the testing centers from collection. So it's just dry uh, swab kept in a dry bottle, vial, and then it goes to the lab. So you saved VTM cost, and also the leakage and closing and unpacking self tape and those kinds, because otherwise the liquid will leak. That is not required because there is no liquid to leak. So it is very fast, it's safe. And then when in the lab, you don't have to do, in the lab generally there are two steps. One is RNA preparation and second is RT-PCR. RNA preparation is not required for this one. It's RNA extraction, so you can directly do RT-PCR. So you save a lot of time and some money there. So turnaround time can be 3 hours, as short as 3 hours. And you can, if you are doing 100 tests in a lab, you can do 300 tests, 250 very easily and less expensive. So I think this should be utilized, and this is as sensitive. So because you are testing less, many people who are infected, they will not be picked. If you test more, then we will identify more people, and if they can isolate themselves, we can reduce the level of infection. That is one way which government should do. Second way is that we should all assume that everybody is infected and everybody can be infected. So we just prevent each other. In your family, you are okay. But even if in your family somebody feels little bit is symptomatic or has to test, waiting for the test, wear mask during that time and stay away from each other. uh, but if you are in outside, you never go um, uh, without mask. Take extreme care, don't go in crowded space, so that will also reduce the infection. And vaccine is the third good thing. If we do all these three things, we can come out of this without much damage. Otherwise, uh, I don't want to guess how much loss of life and suffering we have to go through before we come out of the second peak.
So right now, at what stage is this on dry swab testing, and in which time the dry swab testing may be available for the common people?
Note to all the health departments, CSIR headquarters has sent that dry swab should be used because it's fast and effective. So, Bombay, there are 4 hospitals. They are going to, in Maharashtra, 4 hospitals they are going to use. They informed us. And in CCMB, we are doing everyday training sessions for those who want to get trained, get familiarized with how to do this. So, I think in coming days, more and more centers will use it, and it will be helpful to that people don't have to wait for long, and more number of tests can be done every day.
So right now for the COVID, we are doing just symptomatic treatments, I think. So there are so many diseases which we are curing with the stem cell therapy. Is there any possibility to use this stem cell therapy into the COVID treatment?
Stem cell is very expensive and very sophisticated therapy. There are not many diseases for which it can be used. So for COVID, it's certainly not the option at the present. Even if it becomes option, it will be unaffordable for us in current situation. Uh, there are treatment that will come. So from tomorrow, we are going to announce today that we have got approval for human trials for our antibody treatment, which we are developing antibody in horse and with the Vince Biologicals, and we will be starting the human trial, phase 1, phase 2 soon. And I think in few weeks we might come with the result that we can ask for emergency use approval while third phase is going on from the DCGI. But we will wait and see. Right now, it's very promising, and the trials will begin. So those are the real drugs that are, I mean, real drugs in the sense, real treatment specific against this. But we'll see how the trial outcome is. At the moment, we are hopeful, but otherwise, there is no real treatment, effective real treatment available at this time. It's very difficult to develop a drug within a year. Development of drugs take very long time, trials and those kinds of things. We are in very beginning stage, and all the antiviral that are being used, they are just repurposed, which have been either used or failed for other viruses, and we are trying, and some benefit comes. So nothing is very sure drug at the moment for this.
So some doctors are saying that single dose of vaccination may also give protection for the people. So there is no need of the second dose. And if the people who are affected after first dose of the vaccination, then they don't need to get second time. Is there any scientific proof for this?
No, I mean, it sounds logical, but we should not go into those things. First dose does give some protection, but that protection may be short and may be limited. Second dose we should take so that we get the best. Even after second dose, you don't get 100%, right? So we should not avoid second dose at all, and we should not count natural infection as one of the dose. Although technically you can consider this, but uh, so far the understanding is that take both the dose of vaccine, don't try new things in that has been tested. Let's follow that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Right, you're welcome.
ఇది కరోనా వైరస్ కి సంబంధించి ప్రస్తుతం తెలుగు రాష్ట్రాల్లో ఉన్న స్ప్రెడింగ్ కావచ్చు, అదేవిధంగా వైరస్ నిర్ధారణ, అదేవిధంగా నియంత్రణ తీసుకోవాల్సిన చర్యలపై డాక్టర్ రాకేష్ కే మిశ్రా చెప్పినటువంటి విశేషాలు.